Time to put on studs and leather. Time to go out and get some heavy weather. Metal night. Live on. Metal night. Rock is gone. Metal night. Stand proud. Metal night. Bruises will die. Crowd the streets, looking for sin. Down my steel, still under the lid. Too many rockers, fools and fools. Must have fun to break all their bones. Metal night, live on. Metal night, rock is gone. Metal night, stand proud. Metal night, brothers will die.
It's time for the Tampa Bay Museum of Metal radio show featuring the history of Florida metal. What's going on, metalheads? It's Death Metal Dave. It's your face! Here on MetalMessiahRadio.com and the Tampa Bay Museum of Metal radio show. You're probably thinking, what the hell am I playing? Well, this song that I'm playing is very significant in Jeramie Kling's life. And that's coming up next. We're going to jump right into Jeramie Kling after this break right now. But first of all, I played a couple songs to begin the show. Played some Nasty Savage. Nasty Savage is playing 1 week from Saturday, March 24th, at the Conduit in Orlando. They don't play that often and hardly ever play Orlando. So if you're in the area or you like Nasty Savage or love Nasty, get your asses over there. 1 week from Saturday, the Conduit, Orlando. Used to be the Haven. They've done some improvements, I hear. I haven't been there yet, but I heard it's awesome. Fuck yeah. And also played 2 obituary songs. Those are 2 of my favorite obituary songs of the early days. And the reason why? Happy birthday, John Tardy, even though you bitch ass isn't listening. No, he's got family stuff and all kinds of stuff. Birthday stuff going on today. But yeah, happy birthday, John Tardy. One of my longtime friends for almost 35 years. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And yeah, I'm going to do another birthday tribute later and a little tribute to someone who recently passed away at the end of the Jeramie Kling interview. And let me tell you something. Wow, Jeramie Kling is a beast. And if you've ever looked up his stats, he's got a list that'll blow you away of the shit that he has done and even the shit that he's going to do. But he's a beast. I've known him for quite a long time, and cool motherfucker. Always, he's a workaholic, and he's just climbed to the top. And he has earned it for sure. Because he, like I said, he's a beast. And, yeah. Love you, Jeramie. Hell yeah. Hey, I have a guest in the studio tonight. Some of you might remember him.
Oh, hell no.
Joe Brutal.
What's up? Death Metal Dave.
In your face.
In your face.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get Joe to post it after tonight. So you can watch it tomorrow. Me and Joe did an interview with the Absence and Jeramie Kling, and I believe it was Pat.
Yep.
Years ago, probably 10 years ago at least.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, so maybe Joe will post that up later. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But ever since then, Jeramie's done a shitload of stuff.
Oh my God.
Dude, wait till you got to listen to this interview. It's very cool, very interesting. I learned a lot more than I knew about Jeramie. And so let's get into it because we got a big show. It's going to go almost to the very end, 10 o'clock. And then I'm going to do some stuff. It'll end probably about, 9:30-ish. We'll see how it goes. And then we'll do our other tributes and birthday things. All right, bitches. Remember, Nasty Savage, 1 week from Saturday.
Hell yeah.
At the Conduit, Orlando, bitches. All right, here we go. Let's get into this Jeramie Kling interview, bitches. It's Death Metal Dave. It's your face here on MetalMessiahRadio.com. Here you go. Let's finish out with 96 Tears. Remember, this means a lot in Jeramie Kling life. Here you go.
You're gonna try 96 tears. Come on, let me hear you cry now. 96 tears. Woo! I wanna hear you cry. Night and day, yeah, all night long. 96 tears. Cry. Come on, baby.
Hey, what's up, maniacs? This is Jeramie Kling from the Absence, Venom Inc, Inhuman Condition, and a lot more. You're listening to Death Metal Dave on Metal Messiah Radio.
What's up, metalheads? It's Death Metal Dave. In your face! Here on Metal Messiah Radio and the Tampa Bay Museum of Metal radio show. And I have a very special guest, a good friend of mine I've known for quite a long time, actually, Mr. Jeramie Kling, who's in a long list of bands. And I'll name a couple of them real quick. He's been in a band called Skin Eater, Wombath, Massacre. He's still, I guess, a part of Dirt Skit, Drit
Oh,
Skit,
yeah, Drit Skit. Yeah.
XDO, Eye of Purgatory, 4, Goregang, Infernaeon. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly.
That was right, Infernaeon. Yep. That was a
Inhuman Condition, Invictus, Kill Division. Forgot about that one. Necromancing the Stone, 90-Minute Reflex, Ribspreader, The Absence, Venom Inc., and I guess you and Taylor did some Smoke and Mirrors thing too.
Yeah, we still got that. We got some plans of doing some more Smoke and Mirror songs, but I mean, we're so dang busy with everything else anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we can cram it in. But yeah, that is my list, and it's really preposterous, but that's okay. I like preposterous.
You stay busy, that's for sure. And ever since I've known you, you've been very busy. And
yeah, man.
Hell, let's go back to the beginning. How in the hell did you get into the music? And like as a teenager, or how did all that start?
Well, my dad was a guitar player.
Oh, cool.
Very, very great guitar player, and also he played keyboards and he sang, and he was first chair and trumpet. I mean, he was a very talented musician. So my entire life, he had to, do the whole cut your hair and get a real job thing, and he worked for General Motors, building cars. And he was a machine repairman on the line, and he stopped touring in the bands that he was in. So fast forward to when I was born, he just pushed
so he actually toured?
Yeah, he used to play with this guy Q and the Mysterians. He had that song 96 Tears or 99 Tears, 96 Tears, I think it is. Like, a cry, cry, cry. 96 Tears. Yeah, he used to play with that dude.
Crazy.
He did a lot of shows with Grand Funk Railroad because they're from around the same area up in Michigan.
Okay, gotcha.
So he used to do a bit of the circuit, and he had his own 70s prog rock band called Paradox, and they used to tour, bring the whole show with them, lights,
killer, gunpowder,
kegs, and all that stuff to set off like bombs and whatnot. I mean, they were crazy. They had their own sound system, everything. So, it was like back in the days when you had to bring your show. If you didn't have a show, you didn't have anything. Because it was about the show.
Right.
So anyways, he cut his hair and got a real job and went to General Motors. And when I was born, he pushed me as much as I wanted to go. And by that time, he got involved in an accident, and that permanently disabled him. So he was always home. All right.
Gotcha.
So that put him home always. So we used to jam my entire life. I mean, so I used to always play music. That was it. I mean, Jared, check out Donnie Brewer playing this drum fill right here, or listen to Vinny Appice, listen to this, or check out Cozy Powell in this, hear what he's doing. And he would really he really taught me how to dissect and digest music in a particular way, and fast forward to my teenage life, I naturally started bands, and went from there. And
well, what was your beginning instrument of choice? I guess guitar, because he played guitar, or
no? It was actually drums. It was. Okay. I mean, I started playing at my wife actually just found my baby book that my parents had filled out, and at 18 months, my dad had written in there. It was like I gave him a set of drumsticks, and he played along to all of Black Sabbath's Paranoid. And I was like, oh, shit.
18 months? Nice.
18 months, right? That's in my baby book. I had a good laugh. I'm like, well, if there ever was it was meant to be a job, I mean, I guess that was it, right?
Your dad is awesome. Black Sabbath? Hell yes.
Yeah, he was amazing, dude. He was a really great dude. And everybody who knew him super loved him. I mean, if you read in the early Absence, well, actually, any of the Absence records that I played on with Pat, he always thanked my parents because,
nice.
In particular, my dad. I mean, because he was always there. He was there. He always supported music. He was the dad that bought like 6 or 7 shirts and gave them out, or bought CDs and gave them out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really sweet. And he used to wear that. We made an absent shirt that said, "Let's fucking thrash." And he loved wearing that shirt to Walmart. He like pissed the old 80s off. He thought it was fucking killer. So
too bad he couldn't wear it as a greeter.
Yeah, how killer would that be? Anyway, so I had a bunch of bands starting at 16. I had 2 bands actually from 16 until I joined the Absence at 20. And when I joined, we dropped all the songs that the band had. Pete, Joseph, and I had written 3 songs on our own when we joined. And then we took those 3 songs that we wrote and we wrote new ones, and that became From Your Grave. And
gotcha.
Actually, my dad is, speaking of him, my wife just brought it up because Shattered, which is an instrumental little acoustic bit on From Your Grave, it's like track 7 or something like that. She said that randomly came on her playlist she was listening to. And that acoustic guitar is actually my dad's 12-string that I'd grown up listening to my entire life. He had an Ovation 12-string.
Killer.
And that's what we used on Shattered, which is pretty cool. And then fast forward to when we were doing gang vocals for Riders of the Plague. My dad was there for all of that. He's doing the gang vocals with us and all the sections that they happened. Yeah, man. Pop Dukes was always around, man. He was always, if he could be around, he was allowed to be around, he'd be around. Come to rehearsals, he'd hang out. So, yeah. I'm cool dude.
I'm sure I met him at one time, but I don't recall, man.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, man. He used to come out to lots of shows, all of our shows, all of the early Absent shows he used to come out to. So
I'm thinking you and I met probably around 2005 ish.
Yep, right around then, 2005.
You probably have the better memory than me.
I don't know, man. My memory's pretty. I do my best. Some stuff comes right to the top. Other stuff, I'm like, what? Like my brother Taylor will be like, "Hey, you remember that?" And I'm like, "No, not at all." And he's like, "Yeah, but you had a this hat on and you were that." And I'm like, "Nope, didn't happen, dude." Or something like that. I'm like, I can't remember at all. So I don't necessarily have the best memory.
trying to think. So, the Absence was your first venture.
Yeah, well, that was the first, the one that gained some sort of notoriety.
Gotcha.
Locally, I had a band called Dresden, and it was we had two singers, kind of like rapcore a little bit. We did some new metal stuff, and then I joined. I started this band, Continue the Fall, with a couple other guys, and we were actually. I had like a Between the Buried and Me vibe, like early stages Between the Buried and Me, like the stuff where they were a little more Dillinger Escape Plan-esque.
Gotcha.
Band was actually being courted by Metal Blade. I didn't know it later on. I mean, I knew who I was talking to from Metal Blade, but later on I got to like fully meet them whenever we, joined up with the Absence, because Absence signed to Metal Blade. So
yeah,
it's kind of interesting stuff. And then I was doing that at the same time I was doing the Absence in the early stages, and then it started getting too busy, so I quit Continue the Fall, and they continued on and got a new drummer, and they were kicking ass around Tampa for a while, and then they kind of just fizzled.
How did the Absence come together?
Pete and Pat. No, pardon me. Let me start over. Pat and Jamie. There we go. Pat and Jamie had started the band originally, and they were doing like kind of like a Dimmu Borgir type of vibe.
Right. Yeah.
And they played for about a year. So they did some shows. Like they played with Mastodon, and they did. I can't remember. They did some other gigs.
Around Tampa.
Around Tampa, and I had met Jamie somewhere. I can't remember where I met. And here we go. I knew Pat when I was 16. I was working at the mall, and him and some buddies used to hang out at the mall all the time. I was working at the A&W Root Beer. He came over. We just started talking about music. He was surprised at how much metal I liked, and we ended up hanging out a little bit. And he came over and we jammed. But I mean, I was just too much. I was just a kid. I was only 16, and at that point, he was like 23, something like that. So it's a little weird for a 23-year-old to hang out with a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, So, but whatever. Fast forward to I'm 20, and I saw him at a show and Jamie at a show, and Pat and I caught up a little, and I was talking with Jamie, and then they were having some issues with their drummer, and they're like, "Hey, you should come over and jam with us." And I'm like, I'm already jamming with this guy, Pete. I don't know, whatever. And then he's like, "Yeah, Pete should join too. We'll kick out our other guitar player." And it was like, damn, I don't know. Anyway, so fast forward like 3 or 4 months, Pete and I are just still playing, and we had written, like I said, 3 songs.
Yeah.
Actually, the songs that you hear at the end of From Your Grave, those were songs that we had written together. So it was Seven Demons, My Ruin, and I Deceiver, I believe. Or maybe it was A Breath Beneath and not Seven Demons. I think we wrote Seven Demons together. Okay. And then to make a long story short, it just, I saw Jamie at another show, and he's like, "Dude, you have to come over and join the band. Like, we got these shows coming up." And I went back and I talked to Pete, and he's like, "Yeah, they want us to join, man." And he was like, "Dude, go pave the way. Let's go down to a rehearsal and see how it goes." So we went down to rehearsal.
Oh.
Pete went with me. The guitar player knew he was going to get the boot. He was like, "Why do you have Pete here?" It was like so drama, dude. It was like so dramatic. It was very funny. You stop and think of it now, and you're like, damn, this could have been an episode of something.
Right.
Anyway, so we joined at that point, and we kept the name The Absence because it was pretty killer. The original drummer for the band, Justin, who we are still friends. I actually just recorded his band not too long ago at my studio. The original drummer for The Absence. He came up with the band name. I replaced him, and we joined up, and it was within a year we were signed to Metal Blade. So it was kind of like a wild little violent shift into first gear going down the expressway, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you had a killer following every time you played in like the Ybor area for sure.
Yeah, man. Tom really took good care of us. Tom DeGeorge, of course, from Crowbar, but at that time he was working at before Crowbar, and he was working at Masquerade.
Masquerade, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so the Absence, you continue still doing stuff. You rarely tour though.
No, it's kind of just nothing is lined up. And what I've learned, Dave, in my life is if stuff takes too much effort to line up, there's probably a reason why there's so much stacked against it. So I continue to do the Absence, and Jamie continues to do the Absence, and Taylor continues to do the Absence simply because we love melodic death metal.
Yeah.
That's really it. So it's not for anything else. It's not to play the big shows. It's not to make all the monies in the world. It's really just because, I still love melodic death metal. I loved it originally when I played it. I still do. That part of me is not dead and gone. That's a Absence joke.
That is some killer shit, dude. And so hopefully you'll do a show soon around here. And
man, I would love to. It's been far too damn long. It has been far too long. But like I said, stuff just stacks up, and then stuff happens. We were going to do some shows, and then COVID happened, and it was like, all right, kind of shelved it for, we did a tour on, what was that, 2017? I guess that was our last tour we did, and that was with Deicide. It was 2018, I think. But
you're doing some recording now with the Absence, right?
Actually, Jamie is finishing up vocals for a new record, which we will put out. I think tentatively it's going to be released in September. So,
gotcha.
We'll see how that pans out.
So from the absence, how did you spawn into all this other shit?
Well, that all just kind of happened because I joined a band afterwards, 90 Minute Reflex, you had mentioned. I joined a band after I left the absence originally. It was back in like 2007, something like that. And then I joined back up with them in 2010. But during that time, I had one band, and then I rejoined the absence. But at that time, I had started crewing. So I started drum teching. Yeah. And then drum teching led to tour managing, led to monitors, led to front of house. I was a crew member for 10 years. A lot of people do not know that, but I mean, I busted my ass for 10 years until I got a break.
Right.
That was about it, and during that time I did a bunch of different music. I always kept up playing, of course, because what else would we do?
Yeah, and you also have the recording studio, which you've had forever.
Yeah, forever. I mean, we did that interview back in, I think, like 2007 with me and Pat and you up at my studio.
Yep, Joe Tolley.
Yeah, yep.
He's still around. So he's doing staging now.
Yeah, that's killer, man. I had a chat with him briefly online, and, cool to see he's doing well. So just in that meantime, I just kept playing, and I just amassed a bunch of contacts and friends and stayed in touch, and we just talked. And really, when I met Taylor, so he was in Infernion, I got hired on to play with those guys, with the Infernion guys.
Gotcha.
And Taylor was the guitar player, and I met him when he was 19. Taylor is now, I think, 33, and he has lived with me for 9 years. And when he moved in, that first year he moved in with me, we wrote 100 songs that year and recorded 100 songs.
Holy shit.
Now, to be fair, we did a couple grind records, so it's easy to amass a lot, but we did 100 songs that year. Not all of them were grind songs. So we were just very, very active with music, and none of that has changed. I mean, not at all. Like nothing. Like as I talk to you today, I finished up rehearsal. I have a Venom show. We're headlining a fest in the Netherlands next weekend. Saturday we play. Direct support for us is Enforcer, and direct support for them is Left to Die. Also our Florida brethren right there, Terry and Rick and Matt and Gus. So I was rehearsing my set, and while I'm doing that, he was getting bass ready to go for the new 4 record, our punk band. So while he had some shows last week with Umbilicus, the singer for that band is also the singer in our punk band, and in between them rehearsing every day for 2 to 3 hours down in Tampa, I was recording vocals back home. Whenever the singer came back home, I was recording his vocals for the new 4 record.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're just like, the candle is burning at both ends, always. It's always something is happening. There's always an iron in some fire, and it's a raging fire.
Let's get it! America! Pay to play, the greasy promoter of democracy. America! Rise and shine, the gimmicky propping up our design. Never thought I'd see the day when I'm afraid to wait and see the
Do you ever get burnt out?
Here we are. Do I, man, I really don't feel too burnt out because even if I take like 2 days off, I'm so fucking bored. My wife actually has to get, like ratchet straps and tie me down to get me to just sit on my ass and like, let's just say read a book or sit. I just can't. I just can't, like whatever part in my brain, it's broken in the on position. There is no latch to switch it off. It doesn't go off. Like I'm brushing my teeth. I'm thinking of music. Like I was just riding in the car and my wife's like, are you playing the song? I wrote a new Inhuman Condition song. So you've heard it first, but we're going to do an EP, this year. And, I added an extra song literally last minute. I went up, my grandmother had passed away, last week and I had to fly up to Detroit. And during her service, I got so angered by the Christian hullabaloo that was going around that it just I had to chew back. That my grandma wasn't super religious. I mean, she may have had her faith or whatever. Like, let's just say that. I'm not taking it away from the woman, but she was never a religious person. It was never talked about. There wasn't like icons around the house. No, nothing like that. And the pastor was speaking like she was like this woman of God. And I'm like, good Lord. I just got like angry so much so that I wrote an entire chorus for a new Inhuman Condition song. I wrote the whole thing in my head. And then I'm like, wow. Then I wrote the entire song on drums in my head.
Wow.
Sitting there at her service. And then I flew out Wednesday morning, right? I flew out, her service was Wednesday morning. I flew out Wednesday night. I got home Thursday morning. I woke up, quickly recorded a song just on drums only. And then we packed up our stuff and we left at noon to go down to go over the first show for Umbilicus in Orlando.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was like I had a tiny window and I threw a last minute song on this EP just because I felt so inclined to, which is, I guess music is therapy, right? Is what they say. It's for the listener, it's for the artist, it's for, that word is so interesting anyways, artist, but anyways, so I just had to get that out and boom, it was done. And then we did the Umbilicus stuff.
So you remembered all that?
Oh yeah, I came home and I wrote that entire thing. I remembered all of it. I got all the changes, played all the drums. Then we went and, like I said, we had the weekend with Umbilicus. The singer went home, and then Taylor wrote the actual guitar riffs for the song that I wrote drums to. And
crazy,
they're so badass. It's so badass.
I can't wait to hear it.
It was so crazy. We were sitting here watching Escape from L.A., which is a great movie, of course. Kurt Russell. Stacy Keach, all that shit. And the president at the end, like, Cuba's starting to invade and like, he's losing and he's like, I have to go pray. Right. And he's like, I can need my Bible. And he like left off to his, then they were like, come on, president, we need you. And he like disappears to go pray. And then Taylor's like, damn, that's like a panic prayer. And I'm like, dude, that's it. That's the name of the song. That's the name of the song I wrote. That's
Nice.
it. It's just, it appeared, you know, I mean, I didn't come up with it. My brother did. He was like, just said something. And I'm like, that's fucking it. I'm like, that's it, dude.
So we're going to look.
That's probably going to be that might be the name of the EP, but, you know.
Okay. So we'll look forward to Panic Prayer as a new song. Cool.
Hell yeah, for sure. That's going to be.
Send it to me. No, I'm just joking. I know you can't.
Not yet.
So yeah, speaking of Inhuman Condition, that came together. Can you tell us about that? How the Inhuman Condition came together? I know, but
yeah, of course. It's I have a sweetened condensed version. And for all of you who don't know, most of you do know because let's be honest, we all like a touch of drama.
Yeah.
But Taylor and I were in Massacre, and within a month of joining, we had written all of the music and recorded all of the music that you hear on Rat God.
Yes.
And also half of Fear Sick. So we wrote all this music that was going to be the new Massacre record. And within a year, we got Cam Lead, you know, everybody's heard the rumors, and I can confirm that, it's where it's at for a reason. The rumor mill spins the way it does for a reason. So let's just say that. So we left. Taylor and I left, and we're trying to decide what we were going to do with it. And as soon as we pulled the plug, no pun intended, from Massacre, I mean, Terry and I have known each other for a long time. He reached out to me like immediately, and we just started gabbing about, trading war stories. Mm-hmm. And it was sort of like, dude, I had a pair of aces, and he was like, dude, get this. I had a Royal Flush in 91, and it was like, good Lord. Okay. Yeah. Mine wasn't that bad. So, okay. And then I just took a long shot and was like, well, first I was like, you want to hear the tunes? And I sent them to him, and he like called me back, was like, these are amazing. I'm like, dude, and here's where I took a long shot. I was like, would you want to play bass on it? And he said, yeah. And then he said he didn't want to just do it as a project. He wanted to do it as a band. So it was like, cool, let's do it. Taylor and I had already decided we wanted to name the band Inhuman Condition because we didn't want anybody to be confused that it sounded like Massacre. It was supposed to be Massacre. It is Massacre. It was going to be. Right. So, and then Terry's like, I wrote that song. And it was like, wow, perfect. Like I said, it was like, that works out, He's like, that was my song. And it was like, cool. All right. Well, and he owned the likeliness to the logo, which we had already made it look like that. So
gotcha.
Perfect. It really all just synchronicity worked out.
Shit, I latched onto oh my God, Tarantula, the song. Oh, fuck. That's a good one for me, man. Jesus.
Hell yeah. That's another one where I wrote the drums first, and then Taylor wrote the guitars afterwards.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it by listening to that song. It sounds like him and I jammed the shit out of it like forever and wrote that thing. And it was like, no, I mean, I went in, I just played the drums. I had something in my head. I was like, oh man, I just want to do with this, and it's mainly that main groove. I had that like fucking big ass halftime groove in my head, and then Broham went 100 miles an hour in a different direction and wrote the guitars, and I was like, yeah, like that's perfect.
You did some touring with that, and you had Lee Harrison on tour at least one time, but I know you played a show with the Masters drummer.
Yeah, that was with Rustin Gross. He played our very first show with us, and he did a great job. And then we did 2 tours with Lee, and he did a killer job. And we did 1 tour with our buddy Simon, and he also did a killer job. So I think we're just kind of keeping it open as far as drummers. I know my wife would like us to have like a permanent thing, but I think that we're going to stick as just a power trio, man.
Right.
I'll just always play the drums, and we'll get guys to jump in there, and capable guys. And, I think that'll be cool for fans, because they'll be like, oh, man, I saw him when they did Japan and Bill Andrews filled in.
Shit, that would be great. God.
Hey, listen, a boy can dream, can he, right?
Hey, well, honestly, we thought Bill was going to move back here before right now, but I don't know what he's up to. So, Terry,
we heard the same thing. So, or maybe we have like we got a list of like guys that'd be cool just to rip with, but we'll see, and then we might have some just reoccurring characters, but they're all family, they're all good friends, and we're thankful for all of it, because we're just creating music that, I don't know, I'm just as angry, Dave, as the day that I started playing death metal. I'm still just as like, it feels great to go up there and thrash.
Yeah,
still does. Like that fire hasn't went anywhere because I'm older.
I still love it. But you know what's funny? You mentioned Bill Andrews. Terry Butler was the first person I met in Florida in 1987. First person I met in Florida.
No, that's cool though, man. Terry's one of the best guys ever. I don't know how many times I've said this, that he's in like a top 3 for me of guys in the scene, period. Just guys in the industry. He's such a good guy. He's so kind. He's warm. He's loving. He's a genuine person. Yes. And there is not an ounce of bullshit to that guy.
No.
Not an ounce. Now, granted, I don't know him in a day in, day out. Like, I'm not married to him for 35 years or anything like crazy like that. But I have spent a lot of time around him. I've been in vehicles with him cross country. He's just a good dude.
Yeah.
Just a good fucking guy, man.
We got to finally talk again for a while, after, because he's busy. And I drove him to the airport the other day to go to this Left to Die European tour. And it was cool to chat with my old friend, on the way there. And we just caught up a little bit, because we don't get that chance that often. But yeah, Terry's awesome. He's always been freaking cool, man. But he used to be my I would drive to Brandon, pick him up in my car. We'd go back to Lakeland, and he didn't drink or anything, so I would drink, and we'd drive back to his house, and I'd crash on his floor or in my car until the next day, and then drive back to Lakeland. So fucking funny.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
He was a trooper. I think he wanted to do something different, than Brandon, and we'd listen to records in his house, and it was cool times back then. 87.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. He took me to death practices in Altamont Springs to Chuck's house, and that was pretty cool. And
that's pretty cool.
Chuck welcomed me, and that was really cool. So I got to see them practicing for, I was going to say Left to Die album, Leprosy album, but also for Scream Bloody Gore tour. So
killer.
That was fucking cool.
Terry brought that. So when we first tracked Inhuman Condition for Rat God, he showed up and he's like, "Hey, here to rip," starts ripping. I look over at Taylor and I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, that sounds like death, dude." I'm like, "Oh my God." And then he stops playing. I'm like, "God damn, Terry." I was like, "Man, that sounds so killer." I was like, "That bass is badass." He goes, "Yeah, I picked this up at a pawn shop," and I don't know, I think, correct my memory, he can help me out here, but I think he was like North Carolina, something like that. He's like, "I got it on the Scream Bloody Gore tour. I needed a bass." And it just sounded so killer and perfect, so I played that thing ever since. I bought the bass right then and there and had it on the tour, and then I played it ever since. So he brought that bass up to do the Inhuman Condition record.
Crazy.
Which is and that's the same bass that he uses for any of our stuff that we record. So we've got our official TB sound, and that's through that bass, and of course his fingers, naturally.
Yeah, and he's got a sharp mind. He remembers everything. You know, when you have a clear mind that you've been a straight edge most of your life, you know. So you do Inhuman Condition. I can't wait for it. And
oh yeah. good one. This will be a busy year. We'll put out a new 4 record. There'll be a new Eye of Purgatory. It's an answer back to the last record we released, The Lighthouse. This will be The Lighthouse 2, or it's going to have some name like The Lighthouse also. Just kidding. And there'll be a new IC and then a new Absence record.
The Dark House. So how did Eye of Purgatory come together?
Well, we did Ribspreader with Raga.
Yeah.
And Raga Johansson, he has an impressive list. I tell you what, go check that guy's list out on Metal Archives, and you'll be like, wow, my list does not look that big compared to his, which is not a challenge. I'm not looking at it like a challenge. But goddamn, he's got a big list. Yeah, we were doing that Ribspreader project with him, and then he had some other music, and he likes how Taylor and I.
Okay, back up. So I know we're jumping around all over the place, but Ribspreader. Okay, so how did he come to ask you to be in Ribspreader or part of it?
Well, I was doing Womb Bath.
There's another one.
Eater. Yeah, Womb Bath and Skin Eater around. I was about 28.
Some Swedish
about 12
stuff.
Years. Yeah, Swedish stuff. About 12 years ago.
So you spent a lot of time in Sweden?
Yeah, a lot of time. As a matter of fact, I've done. I lived there for about half a year.
Cool.
Broken up over some times. I stayed with Jonas Shelgren. He owns a split studio with Peter Tadgren. So Peter has Abyss, like everyone knows of that Abyss studio, and then he has a whole other room which Jonas operates out of, and that's Jonas' studio called Black Lounge.
Okay.
And Jonas recorded the second Absence record right as the plague, and we became friends, and I started hanging out over in Sweden and made a lot of friends over there. So I was helping out with Womb Bath, and I was helping out with Skin Eater, and this guy knew Raga, and we're like, hey, Raga's looking for some band members. I know he's looking for something or other, and he just linked this. And then it was to do a song or something like that. So we did one song, and he was like, you guys should join Ribspreader. And we were like, okay. And I joined Ribspreader at the time. And then he was like, I got a band that sounds less death like this, and it's more like Edge of Sanity with keyboards and stuff. He's like, I'd love it if you guys took a listen to it and gave me your thoughts on it. We listened, we loved it, and we just decided to sally forth. Except for this, we did 100% the production on, and we just took over and wrote stuff and added sections and really kind of embellished left and right. So he sent us like a skeleton, and he sent us like skeleton riffs, and we built everything else on top of it, and got to just go into like an Edge of Sanity room and take a little bit of Unorthodox off the wall, or we got to take some Candlemass down and add that in, and we just got to do whatever the hell we wanted. So it was a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah!
A lot of people don't know, but that Eye of Purgatory that came out last year, that was done 7 years ago.
Wow!
And we wrote part 2 to that. That was done and completed and mixed 5 years ago, but it's only coming out this year. Of course, we remixed it because Taylor and I are idiots, but we remixed it, and anyways, we're gonna release that on our own label. But that stuff's already very old, and people are like, "How did you put this out?" Or how are you guys doing this? It's like, yeah, I mean, just because we wrote it and recorded doesn't mean it's actually coming out like now or anything like that. So.
You should have your own label as much shit as you're involved in.
Yeah, we do, and we had to just to be able to put our own shit out. People ask us all the time. They're like, hey, will you sign our band? And we're like super honored and flattered, but we could, but that's not what it's here for. I mean,
yeah,
it's a vessel for us, and it works. It totally works.
That's cool. Fun fact.
We're not looking to be like a, I don't want to be a heavy metal boss in that regard.
I got you.
We're not really super interested in being like, oh, we're label owners. I mean, we are label owners, but we're not like, yeah, we're not trying to, get rich off of like the blood of somebody else. Which,
yeah.
Oof,
like
Man.
especially the record labels of old.
Man, I've been so screwed over. Anyways.
Yeah, I know. I actually know.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And I know other people that have too.
Oh yeah.
Many other people. You know what's crazy is I'm sitting here staring at Eye of Purgatory coffin box. I have it sitting right here. It's badass.
Hell yeah, man. Those things are killer.
It's fucking killer, man. I love this fucking little box. But
yeah, that record is super sweet, and the second one has like some monster parts on it. We're very excited for that. Very excited for that.
Stars go dark, it's a sign to the
Quick shout out to the chat room. Happy birthday, Ozzy, belated. Happy birthday upcoming, Adrian Williams. He has a segment tomorrow night, every Thursday night, with Bobby Leatherlungs in the chat room also. NYC Matt Metal Scene every Tuesday night. Killer interview last night. Vampire every Sunday night. Killer interviews every Sunday. Rania in the chat. Joe Brutal in the chat. Dave Softy, he's leaving us. He has a show tomorrow during the day. Check it out. Alessa, thank you guys for joining us in the chat, and everybody out there that is listening, bitches. There's Ribspreader and more Jeramie Kling coming up. It's a good one. It's going to keep rolling. We get into just about every band that he's been in and does. Here it is, Ribspreader. It's your fight. Where did Goregang come out of?
Well, Taylor and I just wanted to play some Swedish death metal on our own, and we just wanted to do that. And then it started getting grimier and more American. So we just started that band. And then that actually, because of that band, Taylor all but forced me to sing in Inhuman Condition. I was not going to sing in that band. As a matter of fact, I've told all the drummers this who have played all the music. I'm like, I wrote the drums for Inhuman Condition to be played live. I wrote them all with live in mind, and there was like nothing difficult, nothing like overly complex to play, and mainly it was just smash and bash and just straight. And it was like, I even like asked Taylor, I'm like, is that Bill Andrews enough? I'm like, I hit those few cymbals. I'm like, I don't think Bill would have done that. I'm like, nope. So I simplified it and brought it back to just as it was meant to play live. So I was only ever looking forward to playing those damn songs live. I mean, that's why I wrote Tyrantula. I was like, God damn, I want to play that. And Taylor's like, yeah, you should just sing for this band. And I'm like, I already sing in Goregang though. And, he's like, yeah, but you should sing. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. So literally, so we're sitting there with no vocals on it. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, what about this guy as a singer? He's like, yeah, he would be great. But yeah, you should just sing though, because you have I love your death metal voice. And I'm like, oh, wow, thank you. I'm like, I appreciate that. But I'm like,
so was it uncomfortable at first or what?
No, I just didn't want to do it because we had Goregang. I'm
Gotcha.
like, we already got a band where I'm singing in. I'm like, I don't need to sing in everything. I was like, I was really worried that it was just going to be like too much more of the same, and I was super wrong. And as a matter of fact, on Rat God, Taylor wrote lyrics and patterns for for 4 of the songs. No, for 4 of the songs, and I wrote lyrics and patterns for 4 of the songs. And Paul from Cannibal wrote lyrics and patterns for 1 of the songs.
Yeah, I forgot about Paul doing that.
Yeah,
I do remember.
Yeah, it was like that was fun. It was like, dude, we should have Paul guest on the record, but not in the normal way. We should have him do something totally different that he would never have been asked for. Everyone's like, Paul, will you play on our record? Please play drums. And it was like, no. It was like, would you like to write lyrics? And it ended up being a great time, man. It was he did killer, and he wrote Killing Pace. Actually, was that's Paul's song. That's
gotcha. He
that's
does
a fucking mover on that one.
Yeah,
so anyways, long story short, he talked me into singing. He was like, listen, you just need to do it, and we'll just stay a 3-piece. We won't have to get another singer. We won't have to have another mouth around, to feed. It would just be us, me, you, and Terry. And it was like, Deal. Let's do that. Cool.
Everywhere, endless horses left to rot. The stench of death is in the air, shoved into pieces without knowing why. Limbs of the victims scattered far
hell is this Necromancing the Stone? I haven't quite heard that one yet.
Oh, okay. That was a cool project, man. I used to call that band a Panty Bridge because it has
I like the names of the releases here.
Oh, yeah.
Because it fits right in.
It's totally, man. It's like, that was like of the ilk. If the shoe fits, wear it. You know, it's like. So, Necromancing the Stone was it was the guitar player Justin, who's the mastermind behind that band. He had written basically all the lyrics and like the vocal patterns and stuff and all the guitars. And it was such cool, fresh music. It was like a vibe on Dissection meets, I don't know, hell. You just have to give her a spin. There's like some Judas Priest bits to it, but
killer.
It's and then the singer is kind of like crooning a little bit. So he's like he sings differently, and there are some screaming stuff, but that was only added later. So how that band came to be was I was sitting around, I was like, man, I just want to rip with somebody. I was like, I need a guitar player that I can just rip with. This was before Taylor had moved down, and I love Arsis. I always thought that they had something really special. I thought it was like something unique, and I was like, man, maybe I'll jam with James Malone. Him and I were friends, and I wrote him, and I was like, dude, can we rock? I think is what I wrote, and he wrote back, yeah. It was like something as simple as that. So then it was like, what kind of stuff do we want to do? And we were just kind of kicking around ideas, and he was like, hey, these guys actually wanted me to join their band. What do you think of it? And he sent me a demo, and I'm like, dude, that's it. He goes, yeah, the name of the band is Necromancing the Stone. I was like, wow, dude. Yeah. I'm like, perfect. Count me in. So we got together, and I just learned the songs, and we wrote final choruses and stuff like that, and boom, recorded it. And then off of that EP, we got signed to Metal Blade, and boom, put that first record out, did some really fun tours, and as bands do, they just kind of like waver, and sometimes life happens and interjects and makes it to where some people can't continue on the way they were, or they need a forced reset.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes. And then just that band kind of sat, which is terrible news, because I always thought that band was going to do such cool music by like record 3. I could like see it in the grand scheme. I was like, wow, album 3 is going to be awesome from this band. And sadly, we just never made it to that point. Not yet, at least. You know, I mean, I have no idea, because no one's like officially quit anything. But you know, we were supposed to put a follow-up record out on Metal Blade. We still have a deal, which is, I can't believe that's a possibility, but we still have a deal. We're still on Metal Blade, so.
I'll say. Hey, Drit Skit. What about Drit Skit?
That band was Taylor and I. We were super high. We were sitting there on the river, and it was like we had some friends that had a show coming up in 3 weeks. And it was
The
like,
river?
Dude, yeah, we're Weeki Wachee River. Over
Okay,
by my
gotcha.
house. Yeah, and we were up the river, and we were like, man, we need to start a band, dude. Like, we can go play, because we don't have any bands that we can play a show with. Like,
I can
that's the
see
same
that.
thing.
Man,
It always
dude,
happens,
we
dude.
should start a band.
Dude, I'm telling you, we
only have
still
10
don't
other
have
ones.
a band we can play a show with. Like, still, like, we even just were like, man, we need a band we can play a show with. And we were just on the river again, yesterday morning. We were like, man, we need to play a show, like a band to play a show. And it was like, let's do it with Drit Skit, So anyway, so we recorded. We decided to make a 2-man black metal group, and we were just going to both sing at the same time. I would play drums, he would play guitar and sing, and then we would have all the bass, keyboards on a backing track. So we decided just to do a 2-man black metal group.
I got
So
you.
within 3 weeks, we wrote 5 songs, recorded 5 songs, mixed them, printed CDs, did a photo shoot with 2 wolves that we found. And that's the person who actually took our photos was my wife, Deidre. And that was before we were married. We weren't even really back in each other's lives at that point in time. It was just like I hired her to come out and do these photos for Drit Skit. So we did photos, wolves, did all this, printed the CDs, brought the show. Like, we brought our own speakers. That's what played the bass and the keyboards played out of. Just our vocals went through the mains of the house. We brought a lighting package, and we just did 2 shows back to back at the Verona, same place where we played with Inhuman Condition and Deicide. So we did 2 nights in a row there at the Verona as a black metal band, and we called it a world tour.
I've never been to the Verona. I guess it's no longer, though,
cool
now.
Little place, man. It was really, it was just a kind of random, like a empty radio shack. But It was cool, man. The owner managed to have a good vibe going on there, so it was pretty sweet.
Unfortunately, it's no longer.
Yeah, well, COVID killed a lot.
Yeah, it did. Welcome to the chat. Arid Rock, Kiko Tendency, Rania, Sergio Tendency, Tom Todd. Yeah. And of course, Adrian, Alessa, Dave Softy, DJ Leatherlungs, Joe Brutal, NYC Metal Scene Matt, Ozzy, Vampire, Tawanaku, just left. This is XD. And you'll fight forever. So, okay, how about XDO?
That's Maurizio's band. That's his Roman-based metal band. So he had asked me to.
What a great guy, by the way.
To play drums. Oh, okay, I'm breaking up. Am I back now?
No. I said Mauricio. What a great guy he is.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
I love that
for
dude.
sure, man. Yeah, so we just went ahead and did. He hired me to play drums on that record, and I did, and it was pretty sweet, man. It was really really killer, and we got along so well and had such a good working environment that they wanted to hire me for Invictus, which was his solo project, which is a little more radio accessible stuff.
Right, yeah.
Kind of like a bit like Stone Sour, like the heavier Stone Sour stuff. So it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, you do live sound for Cataclysm also, don't you?
Yeah, but this year I won't be able to do any more of their stuff because I'm just too busy. I have Deicide and I'm full from there. So, but yeah, I did their sound all last year in Europe, and yep, all their United States stuff that they did, and I started the year before working with them. It's been pretty busy last year. I was actually out 7 months out of the year.
Yeah, every time I turn around, you're doing something. That's for sure. And you got Kill Division too. With hell in that band, there's fucking 3 drummers, isn't there? When you're playing live,
that's my favorite.
When you're playing live,
my favorite. Yeah, like Kyle's like the odd man out there, you know.
Yeah, it was funny because I saw that the one drummer that you had wasn't going to be able to play or something. So, I was like, hit up Ronnie. I told Gus, hit up Ronnie, man. He's a really good drummer. And
awesome. Yeah, he had asked me, and Taylor had thought of Ronnie as well. So we turned him right on over.
Yeah, Ronnie's another beast that has a long list of stuff. I don't know if his list is as long as yours, but it's getting there.
Yeah, he's killer, man. Great. I mean, that's kind of what happens though, that I've learned is if you can play drums and you're capable, you can go far, dude. Like always a drummer is needed, like always.
Hell yeah, they are. Everybody needs a drummer for sure.
Yeah. Always.
You can go without one guitarist as long as you have one guitarist. Sometimes you can go out without a bass player, but that's difficult too. You can't go without a vocalist.
You can always find a replacement bass player or guitar player. Those are easy to find. Replacement drummers are difficult, man. They're like, it's difficult. It's difficult. You know, everyone needs a damn drummer, and a good one is, again, that's maybe even more difficult to find someone who's good and understands. You know, it's tough.
Yes. Well, you have a big musical background, so you're a talented musician all around. And yeah, on that one, you play bass on that, right?
Kill Division. Yeah.
And all right.
And I mixed that record.
Oh, okay.
Money
So the big band that you're in now, Venom Inc., how did that freaking come together? Explain that one to me. I think it's fucking awesome, but it's
a little weird, right?
I was scratching my head. I was like, holy shit, he's in Venom Inc. Killer.
I did a 7-week tour with Sepultura and Prong.
Sound.
Testament was the headliner. I was tour managing Sepultura, doing front of house and monitors for them, and I was also doing front of house and monitors for Prong, and that was 7 weeks. And on that tour,
a long one.
It was a long one, dude. Actually, that was the last tour that I tour managed. I was good after that. I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm good. No more. Love the guys. The guys in Sepultura are actually easy to work for and with, but it's just too much work, I think, for me. And they weren't even like bad. Like, I mean, there's some stories out there. Guys have been like ran through the ringer with their bands that they are tour managing. But anyways, they were not that, is what I want to stress.
Right.
And so we did 7 weeks, and I had a lot of communication with Chuck during that time, like a lot, just because, you know, him and Tiffany and their tour manager, Ralphie, they were all very much involved. And I had to, for Testament. So I had to report to them or talk with them every single day. So at the time, Chuck and John Zazula were managing Venom, and they had a tour coming up in September. And unbeknownst to me, they were looking for a front of house engineer anyways. But Chuck turned them over to me because I could potentially replace Abaddon if needed as a drummer. Gotcha. I had no idea about this. I found out later. So actually,
you had a plan in place for you.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Like, in the event that something happened, I guess there was like some tensions were running high. So, anyways, I went on the tour and we got along famously. Me and the Brits, we all had a good time. My work ethic aligned with their wants and needs, and we just got along. There was no like rubbed moments, nothing like that. Then Abaddon was not going to do the European stuff. That was like, let's just say 4 months after that tour. Abaddon was going to sit it out, and they were thinking permanently, but they didn't know. And Zazula called me and was like, hey, you know, the boys really want you to go out with them. We were talking about having Tom Hunting doing it, but the guys know you and have toured with you, and they want to go with you. So I was like, oh my God, what? You know,
Killer.
Holy shit. So that was it.
Hell yeah.
My first show with them was in Bristol, and after that first gig, they're like, wow, dude, like, you got the job forever if you want it, you know, basically. It was like, oh, cool. All right. And then I've been with them since then, and I think 2018, I think is when that was. It's been a while now.
It's so good for me to see old friends of mine that work hard, that do things like this, you know what I mean? And rise to the occasion, you know, if you will. I don't know how to put it any other way, but like you, there's been other musicians that did the same thing that I see. I'd say, man, I remember that dude in a freaking local band just playing out, you know? And then now look at him. That's killer. I love it, dude. And I think you're a badass. You've always been a cool dude to me and everybody around.
I appreciate that.
You know, and you know, we don't get to talk that much. It's cool, actually. You know, I'm learning more, and we never really get to sit down and chat. You know,
no, it's usually over a band playing. So it's like, hey, dude, how you doing?
Yeah, exactly. And then in between, then you're running around. Oh, just sound. Drums. You know, shit, I got to go sing. Anyways, it's so fucking awesome. First of all, I want to say my condolences to your grandmother. And
thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Sorry to hear that. At least you can remember her by saying a good song came out of it, you know?
No, man, I love it, dude. I love what came out of it. And it's all just, that's awesome. You know, and she was a fighter, and she was like, she was a bit ornery, but not like she wasn't. She was very sweet, but she was like funny. She made you do your own stuff. Like I have a really fond memory of her. Like when I was younger, I woke up, I'm sitting out there, like just woke up, like, you know, smacking my lips and, you know, whatever, yawning. She's like, "Are you hungry?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, you know where the cereal is and the oatmeal, you know, like basically like, go get your own shit."
Yeah.
You know? Like, funny, man.
I'm not your maid.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, she's, anyways.
And also,
lady, so I got some good memories of her.
That's cool. And you have a great song for her, in her memory. And, or for the priest at the, or for Escape from LA.
Yeah, right.
The
Panic Prayer.
That's badass. I can't wait to hear that. And also, shit, I wish I had gotten to know your dad. Sounds like an awesome, very seasoned musician.
He's incredible, man. He was a really good dude.
I gotta say, man, your wife is awesome. Very sweet and awesome and talented.
Yeah,
fucking
super
talent.
talented, right?
She's got some
Great.
art, killer photos, and I know I've already
While
told
we're
you
sitting
this.
here doing this interview, Dave, she is editing, bouncing between 3 or 4 different clients that she's editing currently. So she's also of the same ilk of work.
Right. Tell her I said hello. And
Okay, Dave says hi.
and as I always
Hi,
say,
Dave, she said.
as I always say, you guys make me sick how much in love you are, damn it.
Yeah.
No,
We're
it's
definitely
awesome.
cute fuckers,
I love
huh?
it. I think it's awesome. I just say that just to bust balls.
That's all right, man.
But yeah, man, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, you guys. And Taylor's awesome too. I guess you always call him your brother now, so
Yeah, he's I have a biological brother, and the amount that I see Taylor, the amount that I care for him is, and no disrespect to any blood relative of me, the amount that I do care for him and love him is immense. And I'm like, he's my brother. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And I just stopped even going like, yeah, it's my bro. And I'm like, no, this is actually my brother. I just refer to him as my brother. Like, it's just what it is. It's not what it's not. You know, it's, so I do confuse some people, and then some people are like, yeah, I thought you guys were brothers. And I'm like, yeah, see? All right, we're good.
Exactly. I have a few friends I really consider my brothers, and
Amen, right?
you guys are my brothers too. Just not as
yeah,
close, but yeah, hell yeah. And Terry Butler's definitely one of my brothers for sure. Known him for so long. He's such, God, I can't say enough good things about that. anyway, so what's going on with all these bands? Anything coming up with Inhuman Condition other than you got an EP coming up and that you're going to be recording, and or you already started recording, huh?
Oh yeah, we're kind of almost done.
Okay, cool.
I just need to do the vocals for this last track.
Get with it, boy. What you waiting on? I'm just joking. You're a busy dude.
Yesterday.
You're a busy dude. This is a joke.
Give me a minute.
What you waiting on? And then,
so no shows, unfortunately. It's just because Terry's schedule is so busy, and when he's not busy, I'm busy, and it's just kind of a little difficult, as everybody can imagine. Could imagine, right?
Well, he's got 3 bands currently that are busy. Left to Die, Inhuman Condition, Obituary, the bigger one. So yeah, so he's pretty busy too. So the app, since we already talked about that, you possibly shows maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of shows may come this year for the absence. Maybe
Venom Inc. You said you're going to go play a show next week or something.
Yeah, I fly to Netherlands. And
by the time this airs, you'll have played it. So
perfect. It was a great show. Everything went smooth. I'm trying to give some foreshadowing of like hope, because stuff always goes wrong.
So, any long-term tours, Venom Inc. coming up?
I think the only thing we have is just some festival stuff this summer, and they're talking about sometime in maybe November or something like that, October, November, but we will see.
Cool. Right on. You going to do any live shit with Eyes of Purgatory?
Probably never with that band.
Okay.
That's probably only ever going to be a studio thing. And
gotcha.
I actually play bass on that. Taylor plays drums on that. Taylor plays drums and guitars, leads, keyboards, all that stuff. And I just play bass, and I think that he mixed that one. I don't think I mixed the first record. I think Taylor mixed it. So I played bass on that album.
So I missed the Kill Division. Are you going to do anything? I hope you guys play again. I mean, shit. Up here, hopefully. Oh, you are. You're doing a festival, right?
I don't know that I'm going to be playing with them because I think our schedules clash, which is why I didn't do the last thing. I was in Europe when they were planned. So
gotcha.
That'll probably be another thing where if I can make it, then I'll try and make it.
Right. And Invictus, is that a studio thing or is that going to be a touring?
I know that Maurizio was talking about doing shows. He was also talking about Exteo, but again, kind of COVID kind of screwed up an Exteo tour that we were going to do. And it's just in a bit of a holding pattern. So.
Gotcha. Boy, it sounds like I was going to say, I sound like I'm interviewing the presidents, one question after another. Let's go on speed questions.
Yeah, rapid fire. Go, keep going. What's my dog's favorite sleeping time?
You have a dog? How did that come about? No, I'm just joking.
Oh, man. Funny.
All right, brother. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. You are a busy person, and I'm sure you're going to go right into the studio or some shit next.
Yeah,
after you hang up with me. But I appreciate it, and it's fucking been awesome. Like I said earlier, I've learned a lot that I didn't know, but I did know a lot already. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to say to anybody else out there?
No, thanks for listening if you made it this far. And, don't forget, support bands no matter what, at all costs. So if you guys value live music or love music or music in general or anything like that related, please go and support the bands that you love. It doesn't even matter. Even if you already have a t-shirt, buy another one, take that t-shirt, throw it away, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Just help and support music, or else it will go away. And then that would be a sad, sad fucking place.
Fuck yeah, would be. You can also go to their websites or band camps and buy their shit personally from the band, usually.
Well, that's what I mean, is like go directly to us bands and help support no matter what. Like, even if you, like I said, even if you already have a CD, buy a CD and give it, or just buy a coaster. Anything helps. And usually on Bandcamp, it goes right to us bands. That bypasses any of the crappy labels that are out there that are sucking bands dry. I mean, I've been through all that. No fun. So support. I try and do my part every time that like a band that I like or care about. I buy shit all the time, even if I'm like, well, like I buy even like shirts for other people. Like I'll buy something and just be like, hey, I got you with this, you know, and I'll give it away. I'm like,
nice.
Yeah, I can't add another black shirt into my closet to save my life. If you were like, put a gun to my head and are like, here's another black shirt, I'd be like, no. And then I still end up buying it anyway.
Me too. I do too. I can't help it.
I mean, yeah, me neither, right? So that's it. Just support, man. We need your help. You know, as much as you need us, we need you.
Hell yeah, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jeramie. It's been awesome. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
All right. Talk to you soon, Dave.
What's going on, metalheads? It's Death Metal Dave. In your face! You're on MetalMessiahRadio.com. Tampa Bay Museum of Metal radio show here on Metal Messiah Radio. Hell yeah, that's the end of the interview, man. What a fucking killer time I had doing that and editing it down. Hell yeah.
That was really, really a great interview, Dave, I gotta say. I enjoy hearing all that information and history on Jeramie. I mean, even back in the day when we first met.
Joe Brutal.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Joe Brutal hanging out here with Death Metal Dave. In your face.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, but really, it was a great interview, man. I really, truly enjoyed that.
Joe was the cameraman, the editor, the producer, oh shit, of everything for Brutal Broadcast when we did the video show, Brutal Broadcast, and I did the interviews. And
back in the day there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, it was in that interview, that specific interview, where I got my name because Patrick and Pat and Jeramie dubbed me Joe Brutal.
Okay, so you're Death Metal Dave. You must be Joe Brutal.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, Jamie from The Absence,
Yeah.
coined my brother's nickname, Hardcore Howard. And my daughter's name, which she never accepted, Thrashing Taylor.
Yeah.
She was like, hell no.
Yeah, I can see Taylor not liking that so much.
My daughter's definitely not into metal. Anyways, hell yeah. So thank you everybody that's been in the chat room all the night and everybody that's listened. Yeah, Jeramie is a beast, that is for sure.
Oh, yeah,
and
no
if you
doubt.
didn't get the impression tonight, go check out his list.
Oh my
Just
God,
go to
yeah.
Metal Encyclopedia. Look at his list of fucking shit, man. It's brutal. In the chat room, Adrian, who has a birthday this Sunday. Happy birthday, brother Adrian. I hope you have a good one. And he's already drinking. He started drinking. That's what the Irish do. They drink every day anyways, I think. That's what we were told. Anyways. Maybe I'll have a couple drinks for you on Friday, which is St. Patrick's Day.
Boy.
An American-made holiday, I believe.
Yeah, right.
And I won't be going anywhere. But the city of Tampa, they do color the river, Hillsborough River, green. And I'll post that picture in the chat room in a moment. But, yeah, I'll do it right now just for Adrian. In the chat room, bitches. Oh, shit, where's it at? Got it right here, Adrian. It's coming. This is just for you, my Irish friend.
There it is.
And by the way, I just informed him I may be going to Ireland later this year. That's the city of Tampa if you're in the chat room, and that's the river that they will dye green for St. Patrick's Day Friday. Anyways, yeah, Adrian does a segment tomorrow night on Bobby Leatherlung's show, Conjurings from the Hellfire Club. Yes, every Thursday night, bitches. Black Death from Australia. Welcome, mate. And Dave Softy, he has a show tomorrow during the day. It's his last one of the year. So if you're available to check it out during the day, check it out. Dave Softy, he's a veteran here. He's been here for many years. And he's called Dave Softy because he sells ice cream during the spring and summer. And when the fall and the winter comes, he goes and does Metal Messiah Radio. As we all are volunteers here and do it for the love of metal. Because we damn sure don't get paid, bitches. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm in the chat room too. DJ Leatherlungs, I just mentioned him. He has his show tomorrow night. And he usually builds his shit up with classic fucking power metal and shit like that. And then into death metal and shit. He loves piggy stuff too, man. That's right. Eric Rock in the chat room. Happy birthday. One of the Tendencia crew. They've been a regular here now. Ever since I ran into these guys and went and saw their show a few weeks ago, check out Tendencia, originally from Cuba, now from Tampa. FJ's in the chat. Francisco joined the chat. He's part of the Tendencia crowd. Joe Brutal, he's right behind me, right here on the mic. My longtime friend. I've known him for fucking 30 years at least.
Yeah,
30-something years, 33.
Jesus. Dave used to manage my bands back in the day.
Oh, I forgot I managed bands, too. Holy shit.
Crap.
Damn it.
Dave, you've been everything, brother. I'm telling you.
Just to support the scene.
Yeah, you know it, brother.
And Kiko from Tendencia in the chat. Okay. I hope I don't screw this name up, but Lois Bell Triana. I'm probably screwing it all up. That's my country boy redneck shit.
He doggy.
Yeah, sorry if I messed that up. But welcome to the chat room. NYC Metal Scene Matt, every Tuesday night. He had a killer interview last night with Marauder. And fuck yeah, man. killer shit, and I really enjoyed it, Matt. Killer shit. And Ranya's in the chat room. She's always on Tuesdays with Metal Scene Matt. New York City, New Jersey, Metal Scene Matt. Every Tuesday night, Ranya's on there. Tom Todd, he's our local firefighter. Hell yeah, he's right here in Hillsborough County, Florida, out here in the boondocks, where that's where he is a fireman. He's a true hero right there, man. Vampire, every Sunday night he has his show, and he does killer interviews. You want some brutal shit? You listen to fucking Vampire. You like black metal? He's the guy. Why do you think he calls him Vampire? Because he likes the brutal shit. Hell yes, Vampire. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate everybody, man. You guys fucking rule. I love you motherfuckers to death. Next week, I have another killer interview with the guitarist Chris Bonner of Frozen Soul. And if any of you ever listen to my show, they're one of my new favorite bands. They're not new, though. They've been around a couple years. And as you'll hear in this interview, COVID kind of slowed them down a little bit. But next week, 1 week from tonight, Chris Bonner from Frozen Soul. And I was, Rania, that's great. She's posting some funny ass shit in the chat. And I'm also going to have Nasty Ronnie of Nasty Savage calling in. Nasty Ronnie of Nasty Savage. He'll be calling in because they have a show 1 week from Saturday in Orlando at the Conduit. And you don't want to miss that if you're anywhere near. Hell yeah. So speaking of the Frozen Soul, I'm going to play some Frozen Soul next. And I'm going to play some, I got some birthday shit coming up. Dee Snider is 68 years old today. Holy shit. And he looks fucking fabulous. He is a beast. And I'm going to play one of my favorite Twisted Sister songs coming up. Sorry, I'm looking up something because I'm drawing a blank right now. Jesus fucking Christ. Come on, Dave.
Well,
Jeez.
Dave, hey, thanks for having me out again. You know, it's always a pleasure to get to come hang out and do this show with you whenever I can. And I stay busy with what I do. But I love the interviews, even when I can't be here to get to listen to them. It's good that you are still doing what you love to do and bringing the metal.
Hell yeah.
To the metal fucking community.
I'm also sorry. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that. Joe's awesome. He's helped me get this shit together when I started Metal Messiah again. And I just want to tell you real quick, I drew a blank because Jim Durkin passed away recently. So I want to play 2 Dark Angel songs. And I'm going to play a Tardy Brothers song and another Obituary song because it's John Tardy's birthday today, and he does not care. So we're going to play Don't Care. And then I'm going to close it out if there's enough time, which I don't think there will be, with some Absence and Venom Inc. All right, to close the night out, bitches. Frozen Soul. Dark Angel. Double Shot. Twisted Sister, my favorite song. Some Tardy Brothers. Obituary. The Absence and Venom Inc. And I'm out. Thank you, guys. I'll be talking to you again before the end of the show. But we're going to have a good set right here, bitches. Crank it up. It's Death Metal Dave and Joe Brutal. In your face. In your face. Here on MetalMessiahRadio.com. Frozen Soul. Crank it up. By the way, in this song, somebody's going to get stabbed. shit's fucking sick. Somebody's getting stabbed. Can't wait to see Dark Angel at Milwaukee Metal Fest. Yeah! Crank it up, man. In your face. Classic Twisted Sister. Happy birthday, Dee Snider. 68 years old. Whoa. Today. Hell yes. Twisted Sister.
A flash of light, you know you're not going home tonight. Be it jack or switch, doctors are mine. The way to run, everywhere you'll find. You can't escape from the bed you made. When your time has come, you'll accept the calling in You know you're not going home tonight. The Jekyll switch doctor of the mind. They know where to run everywhere you'll find. You can't escape from the bed you made. When your time has come, you'll accept. You try to make it to the front, but you're pinned against the side. A monster stand before you now. His mouth is open wide. The lights go on, the night explodes, tears into your mind. When the night goes and you'll come again, the pain is gonna ride, 'cause you're under the blade. Oh, you're under the blade. Here it comes, baby.
About happy birthday, John Tardy. Fucking good friend of mine for many, many years. This is the Tardy Brothers. Don't hear this that often. Here you go, bitches. Crank it up. Death Metal Dave. In your face. Here on MetalMessiahRadio.com.
I will be there waiting. I will bring you down right now. You'll be left with nothing. I stand my ground. Right now, the fundamental thinking, an everlasting sign. As the edge of night falls, you'll find your right. It feels like the fire, it burns in my eyes. I live like the dead right now, right now. Right now. Right now. It feels like the fire, it burns in my eyes. I live like the dead right now, right now. Right now. I will be there waiting. I will bring you down. You'll be left with nothing. I stand by the ground. It feels like the fire, it burns in my eyes. I live like the dead and bound to stand. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right One love. It feels like the fire, it burns in my eyes. I live like the dead and bound to stand.
All right, this next one. John Tardy's birthday. It's for him because I know he doesn't care about it. So, obituary. Don't care. In your face. The Absence. A gift for the obsessed. Last song of the night, bitches. You're all my bitches if you're joining in with me, Death Metal Dave. In your face here on Metal Messiah Radio. It's Venom Inc. Good night, everybody. I love you all. You're my bitches. I love you. See you next week. Frozen Soul interview with Chris Bonner. Guitars to Frozen Soul. Hell yeah. Good night. Everybody have a good night. And remember, plenty of DJs every day, every night here on Metal Messiah Radio. Gotta check them out, bitches. All metal. 24 hours a day. In your face. Good night, everybody. See you.